So tonight we'll be looking at sets and dictionary in Python. Sets and dictionary in Python. Sets. Set is an unordered collection of items known as an unordered collection of items is known as set. Items of set cannot be duplicates. Example, colors, like we've done lists, tuples. We use round bracket for tuple, square bracket for list. So we use curly braces for sets. You can see we use curly braces. And values in set cannot be elements or items in set, I want to call it. They cannot have duplicates, unlike others that can have duplicate. This one cannot have duplicate. So dictionary, unordered collection of data. Dictionary can have duplicate. Dictionary data in dictionary is stored as key value pair. Key should not be mutable and value can be of any type. Examples, dictionary also uses curly braces, but the data is stored in key value pair. I will explain that better, you understand it. So let's look at it. Sets are a type of collection like list, tuple, storing mixed data. Sets are enclosed within curly braces and elements are written as comma separated. Sets are unordered. Sets do not allow duplicates. Look at it. We have something like this. So this is a list. This is a list. Type of this, you can see list. Length of list is what? 12. So if I should convert this to a set, I will have a new variable, set underscore 1 equals to set. Then I will now convert this list to a set. So if I now check, the length of list 1 is now 7. Here we have 12, here we have 7. This is a list. After converting it to a set, I now have 7. Why? Because if you look at the unique values here, there are 7. We have duplicates like 2, 2, 2, then 3 and 5. But the unique values that has no duplicate are 7. So that's what we are trying to talk about here. Okay, let me do something. So you can see now, type of set 5. This is set. The type of this is set. Then let me now look at length. you can see 7. So the unique values here is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Then others we have duplicates. So set does not have duplicates. Set can also be unordered. You can enter it anyhow, it can be unordered, but it does not have duplicates. So let's go down. Let's say for example you have something like this. You have student grades, you have A, B, C, you have grades scattered. So you just want to look at the unique grades. So instead of using loops to loop over the items, you can just use set. We have lists like this. So we just want to know the unique grades. So it's 5. A, B, C, D, and E. So the length is 5. So now if I convert this to if I now say set underscore 2, I have A, B, C, D, E. So after converting this, how do you convert to a set? You create a new variable. This is list, right? You create a new variable, then you now say equals to set of this. So this has been converted to a set. You can as well, like I did, you can just change this to a curly braces and make it set. So you can see the unique values that we have. So the same thing here, the same thing here. So now let's move how to add something to a set. You have set 2 equals to 1 2 3 4 5. Print length of set 2. Then to add is you say set the name of the set dot add, then into bracket. So we can add string to a set. We can add string. So this is it. So if I print set 2 and now have 1 2 3 4 5 and then India. So to add, like now, if I add this, I can add this float. If I print it now and now have 1 2 3 4 5, then 5.5, then India. So to add to a set, that is how to do it. To remove, set dot remove into bracket the item. That is how to remove. Then set operations. So let's look at this one. We have A equals to, then B equals to this. A equals to 0 2 4 6 8. B equals to 1 2 3 4 5. Then we have a union operation. Union is just like you join them together. So you can use A, then this is a symbol for union, A with this symbol and B, or you can say A dot union B. So anyone they work. So what is happening here is it's going to join this and this one. How many do we have here? 1 2 3 4 5. Here again 1 2 3 4 5. So after joining them, this one is for the first one. So you see the same thing. Just like, let me copy this one out and put it here. So if I run this one, so you see that you use this one or you use the other one, anyone that is convenient for you. So this is just like saying, so now what I want to look at is, If you now count it 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, why is it 8? The reason why it's 8 is because we have duplicates. We have 2 here, 2 here as a duplicate. So like I said, set does not store duplicates. It doesn't accept duplicates. Set does not accept duplicates. So this, instead of being 10, will be reduced to 8 because this duplicate, it will do away with the duplicates. So that is it. Intersection. This is how to A, then the and symbol and B, or you use A dot intersection B. So it's just the duplicate values. When you're talking about intersection, you're talking about the duplicate value. It's just like saying inner join. What you have with left and the matching one with the right. So if you look at this, let me copy this. If you look at this, we have 2 here, we also have 2 here, we have 4 here, we also have 4 here. So that is a matching value, just like inner join. So for intersection, is looking at intersection can also look, you can, with your Python knowledge, SQL knowledge, you can say it's inner join, matching values between the left join and the right join, the matching value between the left and the right. So that is just what is happening here. So now differences, you can say this is how to do differences. A minus B, like dash B, or A dot difference B. So what is happening here is so the differences is 0, 8 and 6. So that is the differences. Then the last one, symmetric difference. Symmetric difference is just like inner join, just like full outer join minus the inner join. Symmetric difference is like full outer join minus the inner join. So let's explain using this. You have 0 2 0 2 4 6 8. Then what is common between these two, how will I call this, these two data? Let's say these two data, what is common between them is 2 and 4. That is the inner join. The left values is 0 6 and 8. Then the right is 1 3 5, is something that is not common. So after removing those that are common, you have 1 3 and 5. 2 and 4, they are common. So now the symmetric difference are this and this minus what is common. So we have 0 6 8. Since 2 and 4 is still here, we now have 1 3 5. So that is symmetric difference. So that is it about set. Why do we use sets? Let's take a look at an example to understand this better, like we've done. Let's say you have a huge list that contains student grades. Grades equals to, you have all these grades. You want to identify distinct grades allocated to students. Distinct one. Obviously, you cannot check every element of this list. Instead, we use set, which gets our job done here. Just like this, you have this, you now convert it to a set. You can see, so you now have the distinct grade, which is A B C D E F, just like saying select distinct in SQL. Okay, I'll give you the rest as tasks. So we are done with set. Any question? Do you have a question? Do you have a question? Okay. Or when you do it on your own, which one? So that is it for set. Like I said, this thing is all about practice. My thing is easy, or it might look easy until you start practicing. I'm not trying to scare you, but that is just a fact. Until you start to practice, before you will know that it's not easy. But if you practice, if you practice very well, you will understand it. It's not something that is difficult. It's not difficult. It's not that difficult. So let's move to dictionary. We are done with said. Let's move to dictionary. Since there is no question, let's move to dictionary. Dictionary. On other collection of data. Data in dictionary is stored as key value pair. Key should not be mutable, and values can be of any type. Let's say for example you have dick. This is the name of the dictionary, like your variable equals to, then C curly braces. But the difference between dictionary and set is that dictionary store items or elements in key value pair. Now you have name semicolon, you have John, comma, age semicolon, you have 10. So the keys here, the keys is name and age. This one, that after this one you have semicolon, that is the keys. Then the values for the key name is John, and the value for the age name is 10. That is how dictionary works. Dictionaries store elements as keys and value pairs. The key is like an index. It's always unique and immutable. The values are the objects that contain information. Values are accessed using their keys. Each key is followed by a separated. Each key is followed by a value separated by a column. The values can be immutable, mutable, and duplicates. Each key and value pair is separated by a comma enclosed inside curly braces. So let's say you have something like this. What is this? Automatically this is a set. Then what is this? This is a dictionary. We have maths. Let's say we have students, maths, someone scored 10, science 20, economics 30, physics 40. So that is how you store something in dictionary. So if you print this is a dictionary. We have, now let me do something. Now let's say length of B is what? 4, because we have 4 keys here, which is maths, science, economics, and physics. In as much as you have, how many things do you have here? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, but others are values. So when you are checking the length of a dictionary, it's just going to count the keys, not the value, just the keys, which is maths, science, economics and physics. It won't include 10, 20. This one has our values. So creating a dictionary, let's just say country currency. I have India to be their currency, USA, USD, Hong Kong. Now if I run this, what is a type of D1? Type of D1 is dictionary. What is the length of D1? It's 3, because we have India, USA and Hong Kong as keys. So how to access value using keys? You now say D1 using square bracket, then you now put it inside double quote. Then if I run this, I will have the India currency. If I run that, I will have the India currency. If I change this to USA, I should have USD. So that is how to access values. You access values using their keys. Now to add value, now if I run this one, it's going to show an error because there's nothing like Japan here. We don't have Japan there, so it will throw an error. So if I run Hong Kong, it will show the Hong Kong currency because we have Hong Kong. Now replacing the values for a key in a dictionary. How do you replace a values? D1 then Hong Kong equals to, you now replace the currency. So if you run this, notice that the value of Hong Kong has changed from HKD to HK dollar sign. So that is how you replace. Now how to add, like now I want to add another thing. Okay, let's use our own. Let's use Nigeria and now have Naira. So this is a abbreviation for Naira now. I think this is correct. So if I run this, if I now check D1, notice that we now have Nigeria. I've added Nigeria to D1. So that is how to add values. You say the name of the dictionary, then the round bracket. You now add the new key. The key now is Nigeria and the value is the Naira currency. So I've added a new key to. So now if I now check the length of D1, instead of 3, it will now be 4. So inserting like I've done so. How to delete a key value pair? To delete a key value pair, just write delete, then the name of the dictionary. Let's delete the Nigeria that we added. If I run this, if I now run D1, you notice that we no longer have Nigeria. I've deleted Nigeria. To sort, you should know what we mean by sort. If I sorted D1, just sort them. So you just start with Hong Kong, India, USA. You just sort them. So you can add values. So if I want to access the values, I will just say d1.values. If I run it, it will now return only the values. It will return only the values for me. If I want to access key, I will just say d1.keys. So I will just access the keys, which is India, USA and Hong Kong. I will just access the keys. So now we have d1.getIndia. It's just the same thing as using to access values. I said I use their keys to access value, so it's just the same thing as doing it the other way that we were doing it. It's just like doing it this way. So it's just like doing it this way. So you can use d1.get, then I use round bracket India, or you do it like this d1. So you see the same thing, how to access values using keys, how to update values, d1.update, then India. So this one is just the same thing as what we did when I added Nigeria. You see the same thing as what we did when I added Nigeria and the currency. So you can use the update, or you can do the way I did with it when I added Nigeria. It's still the same thing. So that's all for dictionary. But before, let's look at this question. You say write code to fetch the provision of the employee with employee ID 104 from an employee input given in the form of a dictionary where key represent employee ID and values represent name, age, and profession in the same order. It now says sample input employee data equals to, you can see key 101 is the key. Then you can now include your values. You can use list to list your values. If you have more than one values, you can now use list. Do you see now? 101 is the key. It has a column. You now use round bracket. Now put the values. The name is Shiva. What and what do we have there? They say that the name of the employee, the age. I think we have name, age, and profession. Yes, the name is Shiva. Age is 24, and profession is content strategist. So this is it. You can, so if I run this, so you just see key 1, look at the 2. So if you have like multiple values to put, when you define the key, you now have multiple values. You use list to put the multiple values. When you are done, comma, another key, then you use list. You know that use list list uses square bracket to put the values, comma. So these are keys and these are values. Now if I do employee data, so it just return the keys for me. These are the keys I have. If I do the same, to just return the, where is that one, to just return the values. So employee data dot key, so these are the keys, then these other ones are the values. So any other question, I will send it in form of a task. So that is a difference between set and dictionary in Python. You might be asking, why am I learning all this thing? But you've seen how this come into play using employee data, just like storing data. You can see how those things you've been learning has come to play, and more they will come to play when you start using Python libraries. All these things you are learning, they will come to play. You might want to say store values as, like now if you are working with student grades, you now say maths, what is the score for maths, what is the score in physics. So you can't put that inside list. You now put maths. Where did we have that thing? Let's go. Let me look at that one too. Okay, this is it. So you can't put something like this. Let's say I will now use E. If you remove this column and now use comma, remove this comma, you remove this comma, remove this comma. If you run this, I saying invalid. Okay, it's like I have something here. Okay, I had a dot there, so which is not supposed to be there. There was an error there, that's why I had that. So now if you now check type of E, this automatically becomes a list, a set rather, sorry, it becomes a set. So this automatically becomes a set when you now, but this one now is a list, dictionary. This one that we have here is dictionary because it comes with keys. This column, maths column, then the 10 becomes the key. The value of this maths is now the key. So now if you run this one, if you check the type of, B, now knows that is dictionary. So imagine you want to store something like this: maths 10, science 20, economics 30, physics 40. If you store it inside a set, or even inside, if you copy something like this, you now use, if you use round brackets, automatically this should become what? Automatically this becomes a list. So this becomes a list. Type of T now becomes a list. This will become a set. If you use round bracket, it becomes what? Tuples. So, but the only way you can achieve saying that maths is 10, science is 20, economics is 30, physics is 40 is by using dictionary. So maths now is equals to 10, science 20, so is by using dictionary. So when you have to store data that way, that's when you will now use dictionary. If you have to store data as a list, if you have to store data as a set, when you don't want duplicates, use set. When, if you don't want your data to be changed, you use tuple. So that is it. Any question? Any question? It might look just practice. Like I said, if you don't If I don't see screenshot of what you've been practicing, what I've been teaching you, you will not be added to this video. Any question before I end the call? I end the video. Alright. I believe when you practice, you will understand better. So with that, I will end the video.